Just to give an indication, the deputations really are for 3 minutes, okay, and you know the subjects you're going to be speaking on. So if you'd like just to keep to that point and give us that deputation now, please.
Thank you. Mr Mayor, councillors, you are being asked tonight to give retrospective permission to Rutland County Council for the CCTV column that has been erected on Royce Recreation Ground. We, the residents, were a little shocked when we found out that a CCTV camera was to be placed on the column. With 360-degree rotation and a range of 120 metres in infrared, 100 metres with the white lights turned on, and 40 metres face recognition, our lives will be on camera 24/7. We have had no consultation or notification from Rutland County Council. We are surely entitled to privacy in our own lives. Who made the decision to place the column here? I would say that it was not for the full potential of the camera, but because there was an electricity supply close by. I understand that you have requested a camera that would cover the large tyre swing and the garages due to antisocial behaviour. Due to the limited range of the camera on face recognition mode, a more suitable position for the camera would be either 1. Next to the existing telegraph pole, which happens to have electricity supply opposite, or 2. Behind the basketball hoop. Both positions would offer you, as a council, more protection against antisocial behaviour, giving you face recognition over your play equipment, and also offer the residents a more small amount of privacy. I have spoken to David Brown, the Places Officer, Director, and he did indicate to me that if we weren't happy with it, that he would be happy to either take it down or move it. So in closing, Mr Mayor, I would ask that you refuse permission for the column in this location and seek the relocation to a more suitable and usable position. And I thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr Romney. When we do discuss this item, you will be able to make comments before we vote on it. Okay, but those comments should not really go back on what we've already said. It should be anything new which crops up.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. All right, as there's 4 members of the public here, I believe are all here for the installation of CCTV pole. I'd like to propose that we bring forward that item from item 14 to the next item, which will be item 8. Second. You're second. All those in favour? Unanimous. Thank you very much. Okay. Well, I was just going to give a brief introduction to it, and then I'm going to ask the ward member, Councillor Lucas, to agree to it.
Yes, obviously this went in on Friday the 28th of August. I actually got a phone call at home from Mr Tomlinson, who you got an email from there, and subsequent to that, it transpired that a report was considered by Cabinet. You've got part of it there with camera 13 listed. This was considered by RCT Cabinet on the 17th of March 2015. Camera 13, Princess Avenue, overlooking the park, covering Princess Park, asked for by Oakham Town Council. Now, I have been back and I can find absolutely no record whatsoever that Oakham Town Council has formally requested this camera to be there from Rutland County Council. So the situation on the 28th was that they were going to erect it across the road, I think, on the corner of Princess Avenue and Westfield Avenue. Realised they were unable to do so because of too many underground services, and Mr Tomlinson took the decision on the day to put it on Royce's on the mistaken belief that Royce's playing field was owned by Rutland County Council. So that's where we are now. Members may be aware that services have now been put to that camera pole across the road. I believe that happened last Saturday. Yes. So that's the situation. It is where it is, and it's up to members really to discuss the way forward.
Lucas.
Thank you, Chairman. I'll disconnect, so if you're making comments, I'll have to put it all back in again. It's more or less what Richard has said, really. I'm doing it for the pole and against the pole. Right? For why it should be retained, or why it's there in the first place. Many complaints have been received over the last 3 years, 4 years, about loud noise, graffiti, drug taking, foul language, after dark drinking and vandalism. And I've witnessed the vandalism, and I've also witnessed and with the clerk's help had the graffiti, which was obscene, removed. The tyre swing is costing a lot of money. I have got photographs of youths actually monkey fashion getting up the stanchions, pulling the tyre swing over so that it doesn't allow the youngsters to use the tyre swing. And when it was a fitness centre, the gentleman at the fitness centre pulled it back for them so it could be used. Since that's been vacated, we've had to get contractors in to pull the tyre swings back. The wet pour is regularly picked out with some sharp instrument. I don't know how they do it. And the wet pour is moved all over the place, and I've found wet pour right across at Cheviot Close. That has to be replaced because it's a hazard for the children, and that is costly. Last Monday I attended the neighbourhood watch. So at about 9:15, I think, Adam, was it about we finished? It was dark. I walked down Princess Avenue. The last lamppost on Princess Avenue at the junction of Lonsdale Way isn't working. And I was in complete darkness. There were loud noises of conversations at that point coming from the toddler play area. That's why it's been put in the location. I think, I don't know, but against the evidence, Alan Walters, who was once a town councillor, on the 14th of January, made a recommendation to the council. He made a report, and I've just highlighted this bit. That's why the report came in. No recommendation is made, but members may be minded to support either one or both of these cameras. That's one in Cuts Close and one at Royce's Wreck. Up to a maximum budget or percentage of cost, subject to support being requested. An indicative capital figure may be between 3,000 and 5,000 in total for each site, depending on the camera type chosen. There then remains an issue as to the future maintenance support for which we may, that's Oakham Town Council, may receive a request to increase the support. That was on the 14th of January. Council minutes on the 11th of February read, it was proposed by Councillor Mrs Jane Woodcock, seconded by Councillor John Noel, and agreed with 7 votes for and 1 abstention. Members felt they were unable to give a decision due to a lack of specification and request that a presentation is given by Rutland County Council. That was on the 11th of February. No presentation was given. No consultation was sought from Oakham Town Council or the residents. The poll appeared. Information from dog walkers. Some residents complained over the bank holiday. I had a very busy bank holiday. When I asked people, there were some who agreed that the poll should stay. I can't believe what I'm going to say next. 2 had never even noticed it. And some were very much against it. Where do we go from here? Cabinet the 17th of March, and I'm going to read it out to you because it needs to be read. So bear with me. This is council jargon, as you imagine. This was from the Cabinet on the 17th of March. CCTV systems are an important tool in the prevention and detection of crime and antisocial behaviour. The improvements to CCTV coverage will contribute to the Council's strategic aim of creating a safer community for all, and the Safer Rutland Partnership aims of reducing crime and antisocial behaviour. They will also assist in discharging the Council's duty under the Crime and Disorder Act of 1998 to do all that it reasonably can to prevent crime and disorder. The community safety people will move the pole. They have suggested that it goes in the footway, which is about a metre in movement. This will obstruct. The base of the pole is bigger by a bit than a telegraph pole, so it will be in the footway just a metre from where it is. So we've got the option, leave it there or get it moved up. That's the fait accompli, I think. They're putting 16 poles across Oakham of varying sizes. One's gone up in Southwick, if you've noticed. The original suppliers ceased trading 2.5 years ago, and so this is an upgrade of all CCTV cameras in Oakham. There is much more information to be had about the Cabinet decision. I am very cross, I have to say, Chairman, that we were not consulted, and there are some members of the safety team who still insist that they came and spoke to us. They did not. They have not consulted with the residents, and I just leave it now to the council to decide and debate. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor.
Quick before she hooks her. Stan, sorry, you would say it.
No, I didn't.
Can I have the instruction from the right source?
Yes, yes, please. Councillor.
Mine's much shorter, actually.
Good.
With respect. I have to say, give reasons why I can't support it at the moment. For the first time tonight, I've had this technical brief put in front of me. I can't possibly digest that tonight and make an informed decision. Also, I think before we go ahead and make a decision, we should have a member from the County Council here, probably Mr. Crouch,
Yes.
to actually explain exactly what it is, where we can all ask questions. There's certain questions that I would want to ask, and I need to know more detail before I can possibly vote for the actual installation of the camera. Thank you, Chair.
I have something which is not as long as Joyce's, but slightly longer than Stan's.
Please.
I think it's important that we, the residents, are the ones that should have been consulted before we were consulted. I think that the fact that Rutland County Council haven't consulted the residents or Oakham Town Council is very annoying, and I'm equally annoyed. When it was said by somebody at the council that if we're asked to move it, we'll move it from where it is onto the footway, that comment at the very least is provocative and straight away causes a degree of why say that? Why sort of state something which says it's no point in challenging it? So on those grounds alone, I would challenge it. I believe that, and I didn't want to mention his name, but since you said it first, that Hugh Crouch has a very maverick approach to how he runs things in the council. And sometimes I think that he runs the council.
I'm glad you said that before me. Sorry.
I think that Hugh Crouch needs to be reminded that he's not the Chief Constable of Rutland County. And in actual fact, it is a result of Hugh Crouch that our skateboard contractor lost money because he made a decision about council property and responsibilities without letting the council know then. So there is a clear historic line where this individual at the county council seems to make decisions, unilateral decisions. Once again, something which this town council has been criticised before. And on that grounds, I'll challenge it back as well. I think that we should reject this retrospective planning. I think that we should bounce it back to Rutland County Council where they first of all consult, and we offer them the use of the community hub, that they do a consultation in the community hub with the residents, because I support the idea of moving it. It would concern me that moving it from one end of the pavement to the other end of the pavement may alienate people at the other end. And it's important that all voices that are there, and then you've got people on Cold Oakland Road, because then you'd have cameras looking to the rear of properties, which could be even more of an issue. So I think that we should contact Rutland County Council, give the opportunity where they have a consultation in our building up there, invite all the residents and representatives from this town council, and that once the county council and then the residents reach a compromise, that then the county council go by the rule book and approach the town council and ask permission, because we do not have an issue with people putting the pole on our land, but I think they need to do it the right way. This isn't the right way. So I would reject it strongly, and even to the point that if they choose to move it onto the tarmac, I'm sure that the residents and a few councillors, we can be provocative, and we will probably make sure that that doesn't happen. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you. Is there anybody else? Well, let Joyce come back. Councillor Brookes.
Yes, I probably didn't have as many residents as Joyce complaining to me, but thank you, Joyce, for information you've given us this evening. That was very informative. My problem with this is very similar to what Mr. Lowe has said. There's been no consultation with the residents. Residents have come to me and I've said, I don't know what's going on. The first time I know about 4 locations is this evening when we've been handed this 10 minutes before the meeting, which I think is appalling.
That's my fault, actually, mine. I think, yeah.
Well, I should retract that and just say that it's not helpful. Sorry, but I also had a phone call from Mr. Crouch, and I'm glad that Mr. Lowe said what he said. Then I won't have to say so much. But I got the impression during the phone call that from Rutland County Council, perhaps I shouldn't say his name too many times, that we were being difficult, and it was being put there for the benefit of Oakham Town Council. Halfway through the conversation I had to say to Mr. Crouch, excuse me, but I've had quite a few residents contact me that are a bit irate. I don't expect this from Rutland County Council. Are you annoyed with me? That's as far as it went, and he said no, but it was very clear that he wanted the camera where it was, and that was it. It was our benefit, it was for the residents, and that he quite forcefully told people that there would be ways of blocking it, and so they weren't observed. And I didn't like the manner of the way it was dealt with. Now, this evening, I believe we can vote and send a good message to Rutland County Council, the fact that they haven't consulted, let alone with the residents, the council of this town, and it should be stalled, you know, and reconsidered. There is a need possibly for CCTV in the area. I, like Joyce, have seen photographs I've actually seen on social media. They're not youth, some of them are actually adults that are on the swing, and it might be funny to them, but they don't realise what it's costing. I think each time the swing's broken, it's cost the council over £2,000 to replace it, you know. And so it's not children, it is adults who have been drinking, and there's plenty of examples on social media. But I'm wondering, would a camera stop it? Because I don't want to argue, but I've watched programmes on television, and people commit crimes in cities and towns under cameras.
Okay.
The thing is, it has to be monitored, and the other thing is, when Joyce has mentioned about costs and things, this council's paid a lot of money to Rutland County Council for the last 4 to 5 years for a CCTV system that has never ever been to a standard, although it costs many hundreds of thousands of pounds. It has never been to a standard where it can be used in court. It's not been, we've had members who have been on the CCTV committee reporting back that it's not been properly monitored. So I think it's a bit cheeky that they suggest that we would want to contribute when we've contributed over the years to a failed system. But sorry to go on, but I think the important thing is we should vote this evening to take this poll down, and then Rutland County Council should consult with the residents and ourselves.
Okay, thank you very much. Councillor Lucas.
I was about to say poor old Hugh Crouch, because it's not only him that has decided this, and I think, and if anybody on Princess Avenue heard me on Bank Holiday Monday shouting at Alan Walters like a fishwife, he should be made accountable for this as well, because he is on the same group. Mark Oxley from Uppingham is on the same group. So I think they need to be accountable for the whole shebang, really. I wouldn't go as far as to say it's got to be taken down. Leave it where it is for the time being and fight it. And let's get it in the right place for what we need.
I'll come back to Mr. Running. Councillor Brookes.
Alan did speak to me last night on the phone, and he does admit that they've got it wrong.
Absolutely.
If that's helpful to members.
And I just turned around and shouted at him down the Princess Avenue.
Well, I didn't shout at him, but he's coloured out this evening.
Are there any other members other than Councillor Lucas and Councillor Brookes who wish to speak? Yeah.
No, I've said.
I'll make a proposal when you're ready.
Okay, well, just a minute.
I must say, councillors, I must admit that having heard the deputation from gentlemen, surely this must be referred to the residents for their opinions before anything else happens.
Yeah.
Because otherwise we're putting the cart before the horse. So I think a meeting needs to be called with the residents with RCC representatives there, and then it should be taken from there. But for the time being, leave it where it is, get the meeting, get a decision made, get RCC involved, get them to explain it, and if necessary, move it.
Yes.
Any other members wish to speak? No? Mr. Romney, do you wish to come back?
If I may, Chairman, what you're saying is correct. I mean, you need to protect your property. The pole where it is, although you will see the vandalism taking place, you will not be able to bring any prosecutions because you do not have a face recognition on the large swing, for instance, which is over 60 metres away from the pole.
Yeah.
So we're not against the CCTV, we understand the reason for it going in. What the residents are against is the fact that it's in the wrong place for it to actually work to its full potential. If you're spending thousands of pounds on this camera, get it right. I did speak to David Brown, and he did say that he would move it. I have spoken to Hugh Crouch as well, and I wasn't happy with him, so that's why I went to David Brown. I went above him. And my next step after that would be the Chief Executive, and after that's going to be the Ombudsman, if I don't get the correct outcome on this. But from what you're saying, we are very grateful that it does look like you're going to reject it, and we hope that's what you will do.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, can I have that discussion and now have a proposal?
Yeah, I'm picking up on what everyone said there. So the proposal is that the application, the retrospective application, is rejected. The second part of the proposal is that Rutland County Council hold a consultation with residents at the community hub with ward members. The third part, if we need one, is that RCC then submit planning for either the current location if it's decided to leave it there, or an agreed alternative location if on OTC land, regardless of written damage.
I second that.
Just a minute, hang on.
So that's pretty much it.
You've spoken to us already.
No, it's about the proposal. That's
Well, you've been seconded already.
No, amendment.
Oh, go on then.
Go on then.
That Rutland County Council have a consultation for all the wards, because I think there's going to be issues with all the wards,
Yes.
not just that ward. Once the cameras start appearing down Burley Road, there's 3.
Well,
Yeah,
we've
because
only got one on the agenda tonight, which is the one.
I know, but
Which
you
is
could,
how
if they could ask for a public consultation for Oakham CCTV rather than a Pacific ward, and that's open to anybody who has
The 3 bits of that proposal I'd leave as it is. On the back of what Martin has said, probably 4 would be that the chairman advises RCC that they might want to do a wider consultation so they don't have future problems.
Yeah.
But whether that needs to be part of it, I don't know.
Well, can put
Yeah.
the clerk to write on my behalf to the chairman, to the chief executive of Rutland County Council.
Seconded. Yes.
Already seconded.
Okay.
All those in favour of that proposition? Unanimous. Thank you very much. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen of the public, thank you very much for coming tonight. Please stay if you wish. It was just we brought it forward so you didn't have to delay. But we'd love to have you stay if you wish.
I'll email you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Make it a lot more palatable.
Okay, thank you very much, everybody. Let's move on now. That was easy. Sorry. To item, we should now come item 9, which is the recommendations from Street Accountants. Councillor Mills, are you leading this one?
Just say, if you've read the report, should we approve it?